Hi guys, myself Prakash with total 16 years experience. 8 years I work for Citigroup in Tokyo, Japan. For the past 8 years I have been working only as a GATE faculty for training GATE aspirants. In GATE I take these four subjects DBMS, CN and COA. Today I'll be giving brief introduction on DBMS. With the syllabus guys. DBMS you have total 7 concepts guys. Starting with ER model, SQL, relational algebra, normalization, transaction management, concurrency control, file organization and indexing. The weightage in GATE will be around 8 marks. What are the various concepts? From SQL, relational algebra 1 or 2 marks, normalization 2 marks, transaction management, concurrency control 2 marks, file organization 1 or 2 marks. Here is a tentative weightage from the respective concepts. We'll start with the basics first. If you look at the syllabus, total you have 7 concepts, guys. I hope everybody went through the all 7 concepts in your academics. But please answer one question. Forget about all 7 concepts. Tell me what is visible in DBMS. The only concept that is visible in DBMS is just a table. Whatever subjects you study, whatever concepts you study, all these 7 concepts will be applied on just a table. So how we relate these 7 concepts with table? As DBMS has 4 letters, we have to study DBMS in 4 dimensions, guys. Dimension 1, 2, 3 and 4. What is the first dimension? First dimension helps you how to fetch data from tables. Now to fetch data from tables, a special language SQL has been designed. This language is designed from mathematics concept called relational algebra and tuple calculus. So these two concepts helps you in fetching data from tables. Now the second concept, how to design tables for my business. If you take business as online shopping, tables will be customer, products, orders, etc. Similarly, if you take business as college, tables will be students, faculty, subjects, etc. So the tables will vary from business to business. So ultimately, being a database designer, how can I design tables for any business? For that, you have to study 2 concepts, guys. One is ER model and relation model. ER model helps you in placing entire business in one diagram, that is called as ER diagram. From that diagram you have to identify tables by using relational model. So finally tables have been identified, but are those tables according to my business rules or not? That will be finalized by concept called normalization. So normalization is the important process in refining your tables to identify whether tables are perfect for your business or not. That's why this concept is most important. And the next question, that is third dimension. Are tables in database accessed sequentially or concurrently by users? Answer is perfectly concurrent. You might have seen in railways, crores of passengers booking tickets at the same time. Similarly, in shopping at Amazon or Flipkart, crores of customers buying products at the same time. So obviously, crores of users are accessing the same tables at the same time. So do you find any scenario where same ticket issued to multiple passengers by Indian Railways? Never. Why is it so? Because the entire credit goes to 2 concepts. One is transaction management, other one is concurrency control. Because of these 2 concepts, the business have been increased to rapid extent by switching from sequential delivery to concurrent delivery. If you go for sequential delivery, you can sell only one product at a time. whereas concurrent crores of products will be sold. You might have seen in Flipkart pre-sale sales, they'll say in 1 second 40 crores pieces sold. Redmi, all these things, all because of this transaction management and concurrency control. Now, how about what is the fourth dimension? Guys, how to fetch data from tables? For that, SQL is the language that will be used. Now, please answer one question. You want data from tables quickly or slowly? No doubt, everybody needs data from tables very quickly. Take an example. If you go to ATM, after inserting your card, do you expect any waiting time? No. The balance must be displayed instantly. How is it possible? If you take the number of rows in customer table of that bank, it will be in crores. Even though table has crores of records, database is fetching that record in flash of second. So how is it possible? Just because of indexing. You might have seen. Look at this. If table has only 100 rows, searching for this record on 100 rows, it will take only 3 seconds. For example, if table has 2 crore rows, searching may take 3 hours. Is it acceptable? No. If you observe your textbook might be 1000 pages. It will be appended front and rear with 2 indexes. Front is the concept-wise index, rear is the alphabet index. The purpose of those 2 indexes helps you in searching the data quickly. Similarly, for tables also, you require indexes. So indexes are the ones which will help you in fetching data from tables quickly. So these are the 4 dimensions where you will study all these 7 concepts, guys. That is what DBMS is all about. Let's get into each and every concept. Let's start with SQL. As per the sequence, we have to start with ER model, but as you guys are comfortable with SQL, let's continue with SQL. SQL, you have total 17 guys, starting from 1 to 17 concepts. Out of 17, these 4 concepts are crucial, guys. You cannot find interview without asking questions on SQL. So this subject is most important both for academics and gate perspective, and even in future during working, especially as a programmer. So joins, nested, correlated, and group functions. These 4 concepts play a key role in understanding SQL. In order to understand in a better way, first you need to understand these 2 thoroughly. Parent table versus child table and what is null. So you have to focus on 17 concepts. Let's start with the first one. That is, what exactly is table? Yes, start with the first one. What is table, guys? You will say set of rows and columns, but mature definition is definition plus data. Columns will be called as definition, rows will be called as data. Now tell me, you might have created many tables. What exactly columns will have? Every column will have maximum 5 things. Column name, mandatory. Column data type, mandatory. Size of data type, optional. If you don't say the size, it will take the default one. And default value, that is also optional. If you take salary column, if I don't give any salary, in mathematics, you will consider it as 0. But in SQL, if you don't give any value, the default value will be always null. Null plus 10 is always null, as null creates many problems in future. So we nominate a few columns a default value in order to avoid that taking the null value. So default value helps avoiding the column taking null. And finally, the constraints. These are the business rules. Totally, you have 5 constraints in SQL: not null, unique, primary key, check, and foreign key. These are the 5 constraints. Let's start understanding these 5 constraints first. Let's say 2 tables, guys. One is employee table, other one is department table. Department will have 2 columns, an employee will have 5 columns. As we have 5 constraints, as we have 5 columns here, 5 columns here and 5 constraints here. Please do match the following. Please do match the following. Which constraint belongs to which column? Yes, guys? Mapping done? Before mapping, please answer yourself 2 questions. Do this column accepts null value or not? Do this column accepts duplicates or not? For all these 5 columns, ask yourself 2 questions. After asking these questions, then only answer it. First question for this column, employee ID. Does it take null value? Do you find any employee whose ID is null? No. So it won't take null values. Does it take duplicate value? No, never. So this column won't take null values, won't take duplicates. Such column, you have to nominate it as a primary key. So whenever you nominate one column as primary key, that column will never take null value, never take duplicate values. Next, EMP name. Do this column takes null value? No. Do you find any employee without name? No. Can this column take duplicates? Here is A, it is another A. Yes, you can have. You can have multiple employees with the same name. So this column will be not null. So whenever you nominate one column as not null, such column won't take null values but accepts duplicates. How about passport number, which will be called as unique? So please understand, this is unique. First question, does it accept null values? What is null? Null is nothing. Does it accept multiple nulls? Null means nothing. Can I say 2 nothings are same? My mobile number is null. Your mobile number is also null. Can I say we both have same mobile numbers? No. So by default, unique accepts multiple null values. Multiple null values. Next question, does it take duplicates? One customer is already having this passport number. Do any other customer having the same? No. No. So unique constraint accepts multiple nulls but won't accept duplicates. Now the question comes, what is the difference between primary key and unique key? Guys, both columns won't take duplicate values, but unique accepts multiple null values. That is the one point you have to remember. Next, let's come to salary. Yes, you are recruited, your salary will be negative. Can salary be negative value? No, salary must be always positive, guys. So you have to place check constraint, salary greater than 0 or equal to 0, your wish. Does it accept null values? Is null greater than 0 or less than 0? So don't argue much. By default, check constraint accepts null values. It accepts multiple null values. Does it accept duplicates? Yes, 6,000 multiple employees can have. Does it accept if condition fails? No. So on check constraint, 2 observations you have found. Check accepts multiple, won't accept if condition fails. So these are the 4 constraints which are very clear, because these 4 constraints are applicable only to a single column. So it's pretty clear for us. Now the next constraint, department ID. This department ID is referring to this column. So for better understanding, I call this as child, I call this as parent column. So this is the one, here you have to observe. Here is the one you have to observe. Such column is called as foreign key. Foreign key is a relationship between 2 columns, guys. It's a relationship between 2 columns. Let's ask questions on this foreign key. Does it accept null values? Do every employee works in department? No, there are many employees who are sitting on bench. For them, there won't be any department ID. So by default, foreign key accepts multiple null values. Does it accept duplicates? Employee 3 is working on 103. Similarly, employee 5 also works on 103. Yes, it accepts duplicates as well. Do this column accepts value 420? Do parent having that? No. So does it accept values which is not in parent? No, it never accepts. So with respect to foreign key, please understand these things. By default, foreign key accepts multiple null values. Foreign key won't accept values which are not in parent column. So here are the observations about constraints. Totally you have 5 constraints: not null, unique, primary key, foreign key and check. So you must understand clearly the foreign key. Foreign key by default accepts null, by default accepts duplicates. Foreign key never accepts values which are not in parent column. Is it clear? Yes. Continue with conclusion. If I nominate one column as not null, please answer. Will it accept null values? No. Will it accept duplicates? Yes. If I nominate one column as unique, will it accept multiple null values? Yes. Duplicates? No. If I nominate one column as primary key, will it accept null? No. Duplicates? No. If I nominate one column as foreign key, will it accept null values? Yes. Duplicates? Yes. Will it accept values not in parent column? Absolutely no. If I nominate one column as check constraint, will it accept null values? Yes. Duplicates? Yes. Will it accept values if condition fails? No. So here is the summary constraints. Let's go for the next level. There are two types of primary keys. One is named as simple. The word itself is saying that primary key will have only one column. The other one says composite primary key. It means that the word itself says it is having a combination of columns, maybe two or more. How it behaves, let's understand. In this case, primary key is a single column. In this case, primary key is a multiple. Just I place plus. It's not plus, guys. It's comma. Theoretically, I place that. Let's see how it behaves. If it is the primary key, if single column is the primary key, you know, it will never accept null value. It will never accept duplicates. Will it accept 1? Yes. Again 1? No. Duplicates not allowed. Null not allowed. If a single column is primary key, it will never accept duplicates. It will ever accept nulls. What happens if a foreign primary key is composite, that is 2 or more columns? Let's see, 1, 1 not 1. Yes, perfect combination, accepted. Can I insert 1, 1 not 1 again? No, it is a duplicate. Can I insert 1, 1 not 2? 1, 1 not 1 is allowed. How about 1, 1 not 2? Yes, the combination is different. Yes. Can I insert 2, 1 not 1? Yes, it is perfectly fine. Such combination is not there. Can I insert null 103? No. Can I insert 3 null? No. So from this, you have to make few observations, guys. By looking at this data, you must make 3 observations. First observation, individual columns won't take null values. Individual columns in composite primary key never take null values. That means every column must be given a value. The second, combination must be unique, guys. Every time combination must be unique. Such combination you cannot repeat it. The most important observation, look at this. You have to observe it clearly. 1, 101 allowed. 1, 102 allowed. Look at this. 1 is here, 1 is here. Similarly, 1, 103, 1, 104, it will be allowed. That means individual column can have duplicates. Individual column can have duplicates, guys. That is the third important observation you have to make. Clear? Now we'll solve one basic question. Look at this question. It has been given in GATE 2014 for 1 mark. It's a numerical question, guys. That means you have to give only number as an answer, maybe 20 or 30 likewise. See the question, please. Just read the question. Yes, let me explain. It's a question given on composite primary key. With composite primary key, individual columns won't take null values, combination must be unique, and individual columns alone can have duplicates. Look at this. They mention it's a composite key. Student name and student age. Shankar has been repeated twice. One value is 19. How about X? X will not take null value because it's a part of composite key. So X must be given any value apart from 19. So what is the answer? X should not be equal to 19, guys. So answer will be 19. Please pause the video and answer the questions while solving. So finally, another interaction. How many primary keys can be created on single table? Absolutely one. It can be simple or composite. Now look at my requirement. My requirement is 3 individual columns in my table shouldn't take null and shouldn't have duplicates. 3 individual columns. Take this table. One is employee ID, other one is PAN card, other one is Aadhaar card number. So I am ready to recruit any person who has PAN card and Aadhaar card. So 3 columns individually are not supposed to take null and duplicate values. So how can you do this? Anyhow, a table can have only one primary key. If I nominate one column as primary key, that column will never take null value, will never take duplicate values. So one column I selected as primary key. Done. Very good. How about these 2 columns? So for these 2 columns, you can use combination, that is unique plus not null. There can be only one primary key in a table, but if you want more similar impact, you will get by using the combination of these 2 constraints, unique plus not null. Don't go for composite key. If you go for composite key, if you go these 2 as composite key, keeping PAN card same, I can change the Aadhaar card number. So never go for composite key. Clear? Yes. Do foreign key column accepts null? Yes. How can I avoid foreign key column taking null? How can I avoid? By adding not null to foreign key. Do foreign key column accept duplicates? Absolutely yes. How can I avoid? By adding unique. So combination can be used whenever if required. Clear, guys? And finally, the last question. Can we place all constraints, all means 5 constraints you have, on single table? Not null, yes. Unique, yes. Check, yes. Primary key, yes. The only question is foreign key. Now please answer one question. Is foreign key constraint relationship between 2 columns or between 2 tables? Guys, foreign key constraint is relationship between 2 columns. Those 2 columns can be in separate tables or can be in same table. Look at this. If you take any employee table, who will be the manager? Do the manager will be mother or father? No. One employee among all employees will be selected as manager. So manager will be the foreign key column referring to employee number table. So at times child column and parent column might be in the same table itself. So the minimum number of tables required to establish foreign key constraint will be only one. It's not 2 tables. Because foreign key constraint relation between 2 columns, guys. I hope you are done with basics of table. What we covered, guys? What exactly is table? Definition plus data. Every column consists of 5 basics. Column name, data, size of data type, default value, and constraints. Next, we focused on constraints. Totally, we have 5. Not null, unique, primary key, foreign key, and check. Then we focused purely on foreign key constraint and understood everything. Clear, guys? Thanks a lot. We'll continue with the next concept.